YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, JPM.Cuisine. I'm your host, I'm JP, and we're finally back at it. Hopefully back to my regular schedule. Let's see, what do we have for you today? Today, we have the Nakiri /Usuba set from Mercer Culinary. We have the Renaissance edition, and then we have two of the Genesis editions. The difference between the two, Renaissance has that Delrin style handle, and the Genesis has the Santoprene style handles. This one has the Granton edge, and we have the flat edge. I don't know if the Renaissance comes in the Granton edge as an option, but they are available. The profiles of the knives are very similar. However, the Renaissance has a much smaller blade, as you can tell. Length is the same. It looks like just the blade width or the height. The height is a little bit different. So right off the bat, you can obviously tell that the handles are a little bit different. The Delrin handle with the 3 rivets, very traditional, same style edge, no rounded spine on the Renaissance for this knife. Most of the other Renaissance line will have the rounded spine, so we have the same. So you get a little bit more edge. They're both X50CrMoV15, so the same style of steel, if you will. It looks a little bit thicker on the Renaissance in terms of the spine width, but like I said, you get a little bit more. They're very rigid, and I think off the bat, my preference is for a Granton edge on this style of knife. Now they call it the Usuba. These are Nakiri style knives. The Usuba generally will have a single bevel, and as you can see, these are symmetrical bevels, 50-50 grinds on them. So let's get some balances. So handle heavy here. We got to come back to the bolster. And we get a little bit of blade. So it's right there. Actually, it's right there whenever I touch the bolster. So balance is right in the center. Very good balance. Feels very good like that. Same thing with the Granton edge. And let's see if they do the same. A little handle heavy. Maybe towards the bolster itself. Yeah, this one's definitely handle heavy. Right on the bolster. So two different styles of balance. One is right on the nape where the choil is, on the Santoprene style Genesis line, and then right on that bolster. So definitely handle heavy knife. They feel very similar, very identical. Let's go ahead and go back into that cut. So these are straight out of the packaging. I have not used them yet. Just to show how that initial factory grind is. Pretty nice. A little bit of wipe in between. Same. I'll actually get into some chopping and see if there's a big difference, but the profile on the Santoprene style really catches my eye, probably more so than the Renaissance, but the Renaissance does look a little bit more refined with that edge. All right, so let's go ahead and cut down into it. Ooh, it's really nice. Very clean cut. I'll show you the side. Feels good. Renaissance always feels good, so if you've got the Renaissance line, I think you'll be perfectly fine with this knife. Now I did try out the Asian line and I wasn't too impressed with it. I'm definitely more impressed with these based on the thickness of the spine. I think for the value, wow. I think in terms of out of the box sharpness on this one, the Genesis has it, but of course that doesn't really mean much, especially when you know how to sharpen your own knives. I'm sure you're going to take these out the box and do your own sharpening. Let's go at it with another one. Let's try the, oh, I really like that. Try the Granton edge. Let's see, where are we? I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna move these real quick. And right there. All right, there we go, boom. Not bad, not bad. All right, we'll go back right there. Feels a little bit lighter. Definitely feels balanced. Feels really good. I'm definitely a fan of the Granton Edge by Mercer. Their little scallops that they put into it are much longer than some of the other scallops that I've used on different knives. And I just feel like you're getting full use of those scallops whenever you're cutting. So they definitely release from whatever it is. Let's see. What else do we have here? Some zucchini. Oh, this is yellow squash. I'm looking at zucchini over on my left-hand side when I'm saying that. Just so I don't get a comment, this is the zucchini, guys. This is zucchini. Yellow squash. All right. Just got through. Oh man, this feels really good. As you can tell, my hand, I've got it pinched up really good. My middle finger is resting right up on that choil there. Santoprene feels really good in the hand. This one feels identical. And then the, as you can tell with the Renaissance, the blade isn't as tall, but a lot of drag through the zucchini with that. Okay, so we got a little drag in there. Move that, let this down. Take this one. Same kind of drag, but the scallops definitely improve the cut and the release of whatever it is. Let's see. Yeah, same kind of drag. So the cutting feels exactly the same on these, except the Granton Edge. It feels like things release a little bit easier. Let's talk about some final thoughts here. Bring out all three of them. Let's just see what we have. So again, if you've got Renaissance line, it's a little bit different enough that you could tell. But again, if you've got the Renaissance line that you're already using, you're probably going to want to stick with that because of the handle style. Unfortunately, you don't get the rounded spine, which is always a pleasure to use. One of the selling points for me on the Renaissance. In this case, I think I prefer the Genesis, just because you get a little bit more blade. And they offer the Granton Edge. I'll double check to be sure, but just the way that it feels, I think I'd prefer the Genesis in the Usaba option / Nakiri option over the Renaissance, but that's just my 2 cents. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking the video, and we'll see you in the next one.